Hello and welcome to the Pensum Task Tracker demo. We're going to be taking a look today through the eyes of Mary and a potential new employee, Claire. So let's get started. First of all, let's go ahead and log in as Mary. So we'll go ahead and enter her email address in order to log in. See, it says welcome back, Mary. And currently we don't have any sprints selected. Of course, our tasks are organized into sprints. Different short periods of time that you put different tasks into and hope to get them done in that period of time. But in this case, we don't have any sprints selected, so let me go ahead and choose this upcoming sprint that Mary's been working on. You can see she's already added some tasks for her employees, particularly Alex and Bob here. They work at a construction company, and so Alex has been assigned to design some rooms. He's here going to design a bedroom, design a condo. Bob's going to build the condo. So you can see these people have just been assigned those tasks and they're just starting to work on them. The other tasks are already set up and hopefully going to start soon. But Claire was looking at something. If she came to her reports, she noticed that as she was setting up this sprint and the tasks, that last sprint with her two employees, they got 31 points worth of tasks done. And this sprint, it looks like she already has more than that assigned. And she's only just started handing out tasks. So she's thinking she might want to bring a new employee on. And if we look back in the report for the previous sprint, we can see here the to-do time and the in-progress time and the done time, or point values rather. And we can kind of look through that, right? And we can see this gray bar here indicating the goal through each day of the sprint, the approximate goal. And you can see the team did okay, but suspiciously half the work got done on the last day. So she's not quite sure what's going on there. Not quite sure if everyone really got their work done on time. But in any event, it only barely got done on the last day. So she's feeling like she probably is going to need to perhaps add a new employee. But let's just check how Alex did. So if we look only at what Alex did in the sprint, you can see he started off with a lot to do. Got a little bit done here on the 12th, a little bit started the next task here, because it got marked in progress, and so on and so forth. You can see here he finished another task and then started another task. And then on the last day, he finished 8 points worth of his task. So 8 of his 12 points he finished on the last day, which is, again, slightly suspicious. Let's check Bob. So we can see Bob here. Similar story, right? He starts with a lot to do. He does it, gets in progress. Tasks kind of move through the sprint, and eventually he completes all his tasks here at the end. Again, this one moved straight from to do to done. Very weird, right? So she's thinking she might need to bring someone new on and might need to look a little more carefully at what's going on. So anyway, let's come back to the task. So she says, hey, if I'm looking at this sprint here, right? She can check the other sprint, the sprint that's already done. You can see all the tasks got marked done, which is great if that actually happens. So she'll need to investigate that. Anyway, you can see here how many points. We had 0 points left is to do, 0 points left in progress, 31 points marked as done, 31 points total in the sprint. If we go and check the current sprint, we can see there's 23 points to do and 18 points that are currently marked as in progress. So she figures she needs to bring on a new employee, so she goes out, she finds Claire, and she's going to bring Claire on to work. So Claire is going to come over here. Claire wants to register. So Claire is going to register. So let's go ahead and give her some information. She's, of course, going to work in the construction department, just like everyone else. And then she needs to pick an emoji to represent herself. So she likes cats, so she chooses a cat emoji to represent herself. Hit register. You can see you've registered successfully. Please log in. So she's like, okay, let me go ahead and log in. I just did that, the registration, so I'll log in. She logs in here. You can see her dashboard. Not too much for her yet, right? Like if she comes over here, sees herself, sees what's assigned to herself, nothing yet. So, okay, fine. She'll just wait. And Mary if we come back over here to Mary's browser, Mary decides, hey, great. So now I've got someone else, and I just have this new task I created, Bill Condo 2, but I haven't assigned it to anyone yet. So I need to refresh for the new user. And if we come back to the correct sprint, then we can come down to this unassigned task, and I will go ahead and assign that to Claire with her cute little cat emoji. So yeah, so if we come back and Claire checks again, comes to the correct sprint and filters for herself, you'll see here that Claire's task has been assigned to her. So she's like, all right, let me get started on that. So she sees the deadline. She goes ahead and says, all right, I'm going to pick today as a start date, and I'm going to mark that as in progress. She hits update. You see it gets moved to in progress. So her 13 points for this sprint, currently all in progress. This is a big task. It might take her the whole sprint just to get it done. Okay, so that is the main thing we've got going on. So yeah, we've seen tasks, we've seen how we can edit tasks, we've seen how we can change these. If she were to finish the task, she can mark it here and bring it to done, of course. Bring it back to progress. The priority can be changed. In this case, it's her only task, so she might just mark it high. She can look at all of this. So that's great. You can come over here, but that's not really her thing, right? But one other thing that Mary can do is Mary can come over here. She can take a sprint. She can say, let's start the sprint. So if she looks at the goal now, she sees that as she's unfiltered by all users, she sees that she is set at 41 points to get done to this sprint. So she can go ahead and mark the goal as 41 points and hit update. And now she thinks, hey, we're ready to go. So she's going to click start sprint here. So she'll go ahead and start the sprint. You'll see the sprint is now in progress, right? If I click that open, you can see the status is current, 41 points to go, and it's already been started on that date. Now, for this demo purpose, we're going to go ahead and advance our clock. So let's go ahead and say we get to the end date. Which in this case, we're going to say is March 6th. So I'll go ahead and set that. All right, so it's now March 6th. And if we come in here, let's adjust these based on how things have gone. So let's say that Alex finished this task, which is great. In fact, we're just going to say everyone finished all of their tasks, which is fantastic, if true. And so wait, before we do that, let's come over here and check these reports. So if I come over to here, we can see, look, 31 points marked done for this sprint, 10 is to do. The goal, of course, is 41, right? So if I had done that here, you notice that this is marked as the current sprint. If I had done that here before I moved these, right? So let's say that Claire's task was still in progress, right? So Claire's task was still in progress, and I came back to the report. You could see her 13-point task here was marked as in progress. 10 points to do, 18 points done. But for our purposes, let's go ahead and say all the tasks got completed. We brought in the new employee. The new employee was great. So all the tasks get completed, which is fantastic. We do need to go ahead and put end dates on all of these. So let's go ahead and look by user. So if we just look at Alex's tasks, then I'm going to come ahead here and say, all right, so let's say he started out on the 23rd and he finished it on the 26th. We'll just update that. For this one, let's say he started again on the 27th and finished on the 3rd. Click done. If I come over here and mark, this one is starting on the 3rd and finishing on today, the 6th. Somehow all the work always gets done on the last day, right? Let's come and look at Bob. So Bob only had one task this sprint, so that's fine. We'll just mark him as also finishing today. And then we'll also look at Claire, her task, and we'll note that that was also finished today. So I'll just hit update. Great. So that should be done. Yeah. And so if I go ahead and now check remove this filter, check all the tasks, look, they're all done. That's great. Let's just double check. Yeah, so the start and end date there is set. Start and end date is all set and matching. Again, start and end date looking good. Check this one. Yep, start and end date. And this one, start and end date. Yep, great. So let's go ahead and come back here. And now we'll mark the sprint as complete. Now that the sprint is complete, let's check the report. We can see all the tasks are completed. And if we come here and check the report, we can see the progress, which again, a very weird sprint because tasks were just in progress for most of the time and then they all got done on the last day, which again is what we just marked. So that makes a lot of sense. And also there were 2 huge projects that people were assigned to build a condo in 2 weeks, and it was their entire sprint. So it makes sense they would get it all done on the last day. So those are the main things. Let's go ahead and look at a couple other minor things that we can look at. So we come over here to Claire and her profile. She can edit it. So maybe she doesn't like the name Claire, for whatever reason. And maybe she wants to add her middle name. So let's just add that. She could change her department. She doesn't really want to. Maybe today she feels like she likes dogs, right? So she'll look for a dog emoji and add that and hit update. So if we come back and look at her sprint, you can see over here, right, she now has this dog emoji and her name's been updated as well. And then if she's really feeling bold, you can come over here and edit her credentials. I will note that you will need her existing password to confirm that. If I try to just type something in here and click update without it, it'll say the current password must be provided and must match the existing password. So in order to actually update anything, I would need to come in here and update her, add her current password. And maybe because she's now going by Helen, she'll type in Helen as her new email address and hit update. If we do that, it says you updated your credentials, please log in. So let's go ahead and enter her new email address and her same password again, and she can get back in. All right, that concludes the demo of the Pensum Task Tracker. Thank you very much. Goodbye.